Picture this: July 30th, 2020, and the earth roars outside Canada's Parliament in Ottawa. Not from natural tremors, but from workers blasting a colossal pit mere steps from the nation's political heart. This isn't just construction. It's a daring reinvention of center block, a Gothic masterpiece that stood sentinel over Canada's century of triumphs, struggles, and unity. By 2023, a yawning 23-meter deep chasm sprawls beneath the iconic Peace Tower, Canada's bold answer to Big Ben, marking the start of a $5 billion overhaul to save a national treasure. This isn't mere renovation. It's a high-stakes mission to quake-proof a historic landmark, secure it against modern threats, and craft an underground welcome center to embrace millions of visitors. Beneath the pomp of debates and ceremonies lies a saga of stone, steel, and sheer Canadian grit, one that could redefine a nation's soul for generations. If you were to list Canada's urban giants, Toronto's glittering skyline, Montreal's vibrant French pulse, and Vancouver's coastal allure might top your chart, their metropolitan sprawls teeming with life. But don't overlook Ottawa, the capital chosen in 1857 by Queen Victoria for its strategic perch on the cultural fault line of Ontario and Quebec, where English and French Canada entwine like maple leaves and fleur-de-lis. Nestled along the Ottawa River, surrounded by dense forests, Ottawa was picked for its defensibility against a then-suspicious United States, a nod to a 19th century world where borders bristled with tension. Though today, shared defense budgets in the billions and NORAD's joint vigilance bind the neighbors in alliance. Ottawa's heart beats on Parliament Hill, where three grand edifices, Centre, East, and West blocks, encircle a verdant lawn, with Centre Block as the crown jewel. Housing the House of Commons, Senate, ceremonial spaces, and a storied library, it's the stage for Canada's democratic drama. Construction of Centre Block began in 1859, wrapping up in 1876, only to be ravaged by a mysterious 1916 fire. Rumors of wartime sabotage by German agents still echo in Ottawa's historical circles. Though the truth remains elusive, only the Library of Parliament, its pine-paneled elegance a nod to Canada's logging heritage, survived the blaze. Rebuilt by 1927 in Gothic revival splendor, the new Centre Block boasts gargoyles, grotesques, and friezes that weave Indigenous motifs with European flourishes, reflecting Canada's evolving identity. At its core rises the 92.2-meter Peace Tower, erected to honor World War I's fallen, its 53 bells tolling unity across a nation forged in sacrifice. Taller than its predecessor and just shy of London's Big Ben, it's a symbol of resilience, its carillon ringing out during Canada Day festivities that draw thousands to the hill. Yet time has taken its toll. Surveyors uncovered a grim reality: crumbling concrete supports, rusting structural steel, and water seeping through walls threaten the building's integrity. Built without seismic protection, Centre Block is vulnerable to Ottawa's rare but real earthquakes, like the 1944 magnitude 5.6 tremor that rattled the region, a reminder of the Ottawa-Bonaire-Graben's quiet menace. In a city where Algonquin elders share oral histories of the land's restless spirit, a magnitude 7 quake could spell catastrophe for a structure crafted from 24 types of stone, from Ontario limestone to Tyndall stone, etched with ancient fossils. Security, too, lags for a site hosting Canada's leaders and over 3 million tourists annually, with outdated systems ill-equipped for modern threats. The front lawn, once a communal space for protests and powwows, now chokes under visitor crowds, offering little room to explore Canada's story. Enter the $5 billion renovation, led by Public Services and Procurement Canada, the nation's most ambitious restoration yet. By October 2025, half the front lawn is gone, replaced by a 23-meter pit blasted through bedrock, 40,000 truckloads of earth hauled away between 2020 and 2023. This excavation, sparked by controlled explosions that echoed through Ottawa's quiet streets, paves the way for a transformative underground welcome center and new basement levels to fortify Centre Block. It's a project that blends cutting-edge engineering with reverence for heritage, set to redefine how Canadians and the world engage with their parliament. The engineering feats are nothing short of epic. To carve basements beneath a century-old giant, Centre Block will be lifted onto temporary posts, a delicate dance for a 50,000-ton behemoth, before resting on a new grid of steel and reinforced concrete. Over 800 piles are driven deep into the earth, grouped with steel bracing to form columns as workers excavate downward, building new levels from the bottom up. More than 500 base isolators, giant shock absorbers, will cradle the structure, a global first for retrofitting a heritage building this way, distinct from their use in nuclear reactors or observatories. These isolators, designed to flex during quakes, could save Centre Block from a seismic jolt, preserving a site where Indigenous leaders, from Haudenosaunee chiefs to Métis activists, have long met to shape Canada's future. High above, the Peace Tower's 4 pinnacles, adorned with carvings inspired by Algonquin and Iroquois stories, were secured by abseiling crews who strapped them to the flagpole's base. Their daring climbs across clock faces, a testament to human courage. Some 500 vibration monitors pepper the site, ensuring construction doesn't harm the very history it aims to save. A nightmare scenario where restoration becomes ruin. Below, artisans wield lasers to clean 365,000 exterior stones, vaporizing grime while preserving the stonework's patina. A process as precise as the traditional stonemasonry practiced by early Scottish settlers in Ottawa's Byward Market. Inside, Centre Block is stripped to its bones, with 50 rooms refurbished, 20,000 heritage assets, like hand-carved maple leaf cornices, preserved, and 250 stained glass windows restored. Their vibrant scenes of Confederation and Canada's landscapes glowing anew. The decorative arts team, including Indigenous artisans, mends hundreds of sculptures, eagles, beavers, and grotesques drawn from French-Canadian folklore, eroded by Ottawa's harsh winters. Socially, the project stirs pride and debate across Ottawa's diverse tapestry, from Algonquin communities holding ceremonies along the river to Syrian-Canadian vendors at Byward Market who see the hill as a symbol of their new home stability. Critics question the price tag in a city where housing costs soar, yet supporters, including local historians, argue it safeguards a unifying landmark for future generations, much like the 1967 centennial celebrations that cemented Parliament's cultural weight. While MPs and senators work from the West Block and Senate of Canada building, the Welcome Centre takes shape, set for completion by 2031, with Centre Block reopening in 2032. Visitors will enter via a raised pathway, passing secure screenings into a main hall where the Peace Tower's foundation anchors the design, skylights flooding it with light, a nod to Canada's open spirit. Incorporating Inukshuk motifs and Indigenous art, the center reflects reconciliation efforts, echoing powwows held nearby, where Cree drummers and Francophone fiddlers blend traditions. Connected to East and West Blocks, it'll be a secure, accessible gateway, easing the crush of tourists who flock to see Canada's democratic nerve center. Culturally, this project weaves Canada's past and present. Ottawa, on unceded Algonquin Anishinaabe land, has long been a meeting place, from fur trade canoes to modern multicultural festivals. The renovation honors this, embedding Indigenous design alongside Gothic arches, mirroring Canada's journey from colonial roots to a mosaic of over 200 ethnicities. Historically, Centre Block has witnessed defining moments: the 1867 Confederation, the 1982 Charter of Rights, and Indigenous land rights debates that continue to shape policy. Socially, it galvanizes Ottawa's communities, from Chinatown's dim sum shops to Little Italy's espresso bars, all rallying around a shared icon. This isn't just patching up a relic, it's a love letter to Canada's resilience. Centre Block, born from 19th century dreams scarred by fire, now faces rebirth. By 2032, it'll stand quake-ready, visitor-friendly, and a beacon of unity. Its stones whispering tales of voyageurs, suffragists, and modern diversity. Amid global uncertainties, this project, rooted in Ottawa's riverine cradle, ensures Canada's heart endures. What's your take? Will this monumental rebuild cement Canada's legacy or spark fiery debates over its cost? Share your thoughts below and subscribe for more gripping stories of the world's boldest builds.